Yeah, I am live. Good journey, everyone. Welcome to Space Oats Live, a Star Wars podcast. I am your host, the Crucial Crew member Jay, and yeah, a little bit of technical difficulties today, but that's okay. I got at least my better camera working, which is great, and we got a lot of Star Wars content to talk about tonight. Yeah, so I didn't do a live stream last week. The reason being is, if you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram page is the Crucial Crew member. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that that I went to visit my parents last weekend. My weekend, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I usually do this on Tuesday. So that didn't happen. So yeah, I had a great time. It was great. I got to see them. Hadn't seen them for a while. They're back and forth from Maryland to Florida, so got to go over there. Wasn't really great to go to the beach. I did set foot on the sand because you have to do that. If you go to the beach, you have to step foot on the sand. I'm not a big beach person. I don't know if any of you guys are big beach people, but not a really big. I do like to just chill, with a drink, chill on the beach, watch the water. I'm not big on getting into the ocean. The golf, I like getting in the golf. The ocean, not so much. I don't know. I feel like it's sandier, and I don't know. I'm like Anakin, so don't really care too much for the sand. With all the the normal sayings, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm throwing up really quick Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just kind of watching the end of it, the last part, because I've been doing that. So yeah, it's right in the middle of the final Vader Obi-Wan duel. So pretty cool, Sipping on some tequila. And we're going to talk some Star Wars. So, as you notice, I do have So I was going to do this last night, by the way. Going to do this last night. Didn't. Yeah, I was really tired last night. So, just because just craziness in schedules, weeks, all that stuff. I could have did it, probably elected not to, pushed it back to today. Don't know if anybody's going to be coming on live tonight because of that, because I didn't really put it out there that I was going live tonight. I apologize for that. I know a lot of you like to join me live, and I mean, some of you, not a lot. I don't get a lot of live people, but I know some of you are regulars in joining me live, and I appreciate that, because I like to have that banter back and forth and feed off of some of the comments. But yeah, so no, probably not going to be too many people joining in tonight, I don't think. If you do, that's awesome. If not, if you're watching this later, that's great as well. Subscribe to this channel. I usually do this every Tuesday night. So this is Space Oats Live, by the way, where we just talk about Star Wars. We talk a little bit here and there about Star Wars. First thing first, though, we're going to go ahead and talk about what's on the screen. The art of Star Wars. What is the art of Star Wars? Does anybody know? So basically, this is actually something that happened today in Star Wars history, which I do these posts on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I do these posts each and every day where I take a little bit of Star Wars history and I put a post on about that with something really cool that happened in Star Wars history. Sometimes it's pretty amazing. Sometimes I learn some things, which is great. Sometimes I know about the things, sometimes I don't. I know all about this, the art of Star Wars, actually, because I saw it when it kind of went on its run later on, and it started doing its kind of world tour, and it went to Washington, D.C., to the National Air and Space Museum, which was kind of a spin-off of this, which began December 27th, 1994, in California. So December 24th, 1994, The Art of Star Wars, which was the first major exhibit of Star Wars props, wardrobe pieces, models, and so much more, opened at the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts in San Francisco. So that is the poster for that you can see there. It basically says it's at the Center for the Arts, Yerba Buena Gardens, and it basically has that date there of December 27th. And it says it would go through March, I believe it says 12th, if my eyes do not deceive me. And eventually this kind of went world tour. Patrick joining in. Thank you. Hey, hey, hey. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to join in. Talking about the art of Star Wars. So if anybody kind of saw like with this, how this exhibit has kind of spun off and continued on even up until recently. Exhibits pop up with props and things for Star Wars, which is really cool. If you've never gone and seen an exhibit for Star Wars, I highly encourage you. I know that like a lot of conventions, they'll have some props and things like that, but something that's dedicated, that's really into bringing out a lot of the props from Star Wars is really cool to go see live. I remember going to see this kind of the spin-off of this in Washington, D.C. at the National Air and Space Museum. And it was one of those things that, you know, for me at that time, I had never really gone anywhere physically and seen anything Star Wars beyond going to the movies and seeing Star Wars. I've never had been to comic book conventions, never had been to anywhere out in California. I'd never been to Disneyland, which really didn't have much to start with Star Wars at that time. But I'd never really done anything immersive, like seeing something that you can kind of go through the story of Star Wars and see the props in real life, which was really cool. Patrick saying that his wife and him saw the art of costume Star Wars exhibit in Seattle and then again in Denver after they had added episode 7 costume. That's really cool. See, it still goes on now, and you get to see all these extra props continuing on. So like when I saw it, I don't even think that they had anything for episode 1 yet. I think it was just the original trilogy, which is what it started out as. But just seeing the real props from the Lucasfilm, I guess the archives out there in California, where they would basically take it on tour, and you would get to see all this, and you could walk through, and it would have an audio tour that you could do, which I don't know if I did that. I think I just kind of read everything, and I remember taking my little disposable camera with me and taking pictures. I think we took a video camera. I don't know whatever happened to that, honestly. The video camera, because it was those old Sony camcorders, and I don't think that exists anymore as far as the video of that. But I remember like being so into it that I wanted to do everything, video, pictures, all of that. I don't have any of it anymore, but there's really, like, if you want to go online, you can actually see walkthroughs, blogs that people had taken that are posted on YouTube of the exhibits. The original exhibit, you can go through and you can see those. And it's pretty amazing. I've watched one or two in the past, so pretty outstanding. But that is what happened today in Star Wars history. As you know, again, I do that pretty much every day on my Instagram page, either by a post or a live stream. So hit me up over there, the Crucial Crew member, and follow me over there. I do a lot of posts with Disney, Star Wars, and all sorts of things. So yeah, and you know, you can follow me along over there. So let's see here. What else? Anything else happened today in Star Wars? I don't think so. I think that was pretty much it. Except for today. Yeah, this is a sad one though, and I totally almost forgot about this, honestly. But today in Star Wars history in 2016, this is the day that that Carrie Fisher had passed away. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick saying good night. Hope I had a good holiday. I hope you did as well. Happy New Year to Buite, right? Yeah. We're going to be doing a top 5. I'm going to be doing a top 5. So watch this later. You can see my top 5 of 2023 and my top 5 of what I'm looking forward to 2024. We're going to do that a little bit later. But again, a little bit of shout out to Carrie Fisher, because today in Star Wars history as well, Carrie Fisher had passed away, suffering a heart attack today on this day. Obviously, we all know her and love her as the Princess of Alderaan, Princess Leia Organa Solo. So, yeah, and it's funny because I'm actually watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm watching little Vivian Blair play a young Princess Leia, which does so well. I think this is the first time I've actually really gone back and watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think since it came out. I may have watched like 1 or 2 episodes here and there, but I really didn't watch the whole series up until this past week, watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I really have so much more appreciation for it. I love it so much more than I think the first time that I watched it, which usually happens with pretty much everything Star Wars. So I hope you liked Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, it's not in my one of my favorites, but it definitely was an amazing series. So pretty awesome there. So, but anyway, I digress. Always remember Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher. Such a loss for all of us Star Wars fans, and really anybody that knew Carrie Fisher as a actress, comedian, writer. Everything that she did was just amazing. So yeah. So Carrie Fisher sadly passed away today in 2016 on this day in Star Wars history. So I can't believe I almost forgot about that. This is one of the things you don't always like to remember, right? But anyway, I want to get rid of this sharing my screen. Get me back to full screen here. Yeah. So, but yeah, going back to like the art of Star Wars, just as that's something that I really, I've always like loved, just like interpretations of Star Wars. I'm going to kind of bring this up as I'm going through a lot of the things that I'm talking about tonight, but one of the things that especially even with my Star Wars clothes, like when I pick something Star Wars, it has to have this certain feel. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Celebration stuff, because the Celebration stuff always has some really good art. So this one, I think this is Celebration Anaheim's, which I loved this shirt, love the coloring of it. And then wearing the Disney Parks Rebel jacket, and I just love the jacket. It's just so kind of plain. I'm not big on like lots of show with my Star Wars gear. I like it very simple for the most part. I got my Heroes and Villains hat, I think, but it's the Disney Parks one. It's not the Heroes and Villains, but it's basically got the Jedi Order and the Imperial cog on there. And then of course I have my CSL necklace, as well as I love the Enzo rings, the very simple ones. I have my Rebel one on tonight. So everything that I pick, I always have, and everybody has their own styles of Star Wars, which I love. And we're going to revisit this because I love the artistic styles of Star Wars. That's one of the things that just draws me to Star Wars again and again, in everybody's interpretation of Star Wars. And there's just so much out there that I love. But anyway, I digress again. I'm going to do that a lot tonight, I have a feeling. But anyway, going back to, we're going to talk a little bit about some releases that have happened in the past couple weeks, because again, I haven't done this in 2 weeks. And there was one like major new release announcement that basically something that actually it's already hit the shelves at the time of me doing this. It came out on the 20th, so it's already been out for 5 days, and I haven't read it yet, but it is yeah, it's a new comic. So let me go ahead and throw that up there. Marvel comic, Revelations, Star Wars Revelations. So if anybody knows this comic or have read anything with, it basically kind of goes through a bunch of different stories. And yeah, so we basically got 7 stories in this one. 7 stories total. Actually, more than that, I think. Maybe it is 7 stories. I don't know. I think it says 7 stories. But anyway, Star Wars, basically we got a lot of good stuff. We go, again, I've been watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. You get to kind of go into Mustafar, the med lab on Mustafar, where we get to see a new story with the droids and Darth Vader there. We got a story on Nar Shaddaa with Jango Fett, arriving in the Smuggler's District, and that. We have inside the Bounty Hunters Guild Social Club, Dengar unspooling a tall tale. So And we got some stuff from the High Republic in this one. Clone Wars, Empire, all this kind of interwoven in this Revelations story, which basically has an overall story, kind of like if you read the Halcyon Legacy comic, kind of the same way, where basically each issue had its own story, but it was a carry-on story throughout, from beginning to end. Kind of the same way this is done. So it tells stories throughout history, but it has one overall arcing story. So a lot of different people penning different different stories from here, with the Star Wars one being written by Charles Soule, the High Republic one by Kevin Scott, the Dr. Aphra one by Alyssa Wong, the Darth Vader one, Greg Pak, and then other tales leading to a new series, which we've heard about already, that there's going to be a new series with Mace Windu. And that's written by Mark Bernardin, Django Fett, written by Ethan Sachs, Jabba the Hutt, written by Mark Guggenheim. So lots of really cool stories, really great cover that gives us insights as to some of the characters that they are going to dive into. So you see Thrawn there on the cover. If you're a Thrawn fan, you might want to pick this up and take a read. So it is out. It was released on December 20th. So it is out already in comic book stores and arrived already. So you can go ahead and pick that up. I think after I'm done this Obi-Wan, I think I'm going to go ahead and revisit Ahsoka again, because Ahsoka, well, a little hint, that might have made my top 5 of 2023. So I hope everybody enjoyed their time with their family this past week. And we got one more crazy holiday to go through before the new year. Again, I'm going to kind of go through my best of Star Wars in a bit. StarWars.com had a really cool little fun thing with a quiz as far as like which band should play at your holiday party. I got DJ Rex, man. I'm digging it. DJ Rex, loving it. Love Star Wars music. I'm a big Star Wars music person. I don't know, whatever. One of these days, I'm going to do my top 5, like, Star Wars bands or songs or something when it comes to Star Wars music. We'll have to think about that one and do that one at some point. But because I would love to like play excerpts, and I don't know like how long I can do the excerpts without getting like some sort of pull off my stream, but I don't know. Anyway, but so anyway, I'm going to do my top 5, but I am going to go through what StarWars.com put out as like the best of 2023, which is pretty much everything that they had that was released was basically on the site. But just kind of run through everything that happened in 2023. There was a lot that happened in 2023 for Star Wars. First, we had well, I don't know if these are in order, but as far as release, but I'm just going to go through like what was released as far as what was on the website. We had Star Wars: The Bad Batch Season 2, which I would say it took it to a crazy new level compared to Season 1. Season 1 was good, and it ended like really on that down note, but Season 2 intensified it. Season 2 just... I don't think anybody came away with that one without a tear in their eye. I mean, with what happened to one of the major characters. If you haven't seen The Bad Batch Season 2, gotta watch it. If you haven't seen The Bad Batch, watch those series. If you're a Clone Wars fan, it carries off of the Clone Wars. So like it's coming from that last season from Clone Wars and The Bad Batch. So if you had any interest in that, you gotta watch The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is great. Season 3, the final season, coming out next year. So that's maybe something that people are looking forward to. Anyway, Mandalorian Season 3 came out this year as well. So we had that one. Not my favorite season. So I think as far as like it kind of went the opposite way for me with the Mandalorian. It kind of digressed a little bit in the story of what I was kind of wanting from the Mandalorian. So so yeah, kind of like the redemption of Din Djarin here, as far as like him atoning for his sins of taking off his helmet. Um, yeah, it had some good stories, but not my favorite season out of all of the Mandalorian seasons. So don't know when we're going to get a look at any return of Din Djarin or the Mandalorian in a season 4. We haven't heard anything about that as of yet. I think that might be a good thing. I think we need to take a break from the Mandalorian. Maybe see him in some other projects show up. But as far as his story kind of carrying on, I'm okay with it, with a break being had. We got so much more coming out next year, though, which we'll get to. Ahsoka coming out this year. Amazing. Bringing along some of our other Rebel friends, Sabine, Hera, Ezra, so many more, Chopper, all of them coming back, as well as some other characters from other series that kind of popped up and popped in there, which we were surprised to see, which was really cool to see some of those other characters kind of pop in there. I don't know who is not an Ahsoka Tano fan, but yeah, I'm a huge Ahsoka Tano fan, and really was loving that. I thought it did a really good payoff to the Rebels fans, but I don't think it. A lot of people kept complaining that they felt that it was Rebels and should have been the Rebels called Rebels, but I didn't agree with that. I thought it did a really good Ahsoka story while using those characters to tell her story. So I was good for that. I think it's we got a really cool, clear path for some future stories with the characters in different directions, with Ahsoka and Sabine, and then Ezra and Hera, maybe taking 2 different directions. And I don't know, like, if we get an Ahsoka season 2, what kind of story that's going to tell. I think it's going to be a really different path than the Thrawn path that is going to involve Ezra and Hera, and maybe some of our friends from the past from other series that might join in to whatever new series will tell those stories. So, but yeah, can't wait to see what's next with those characters. Don't know when it's coming or what it's going to be yet, but excited for all those new stories to be told. We returned to Star Wars Celebration this year, 2 years in a row, because in 2022 we had Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, and then this year we went to Europe, to London specifically, which yours truly, the Crucial Crew member, was there, and I have to say it was fantastic. So for the 3rd time it was in Europe, my first time doing Star Wars Celebration abroad, which was great. Loved it. Loved London. Loved going back to London. It was fantastic. 4 days in April, which was amazing. And yeah, had a blast there. We got all sorts of new stuff, which I'll talk about in a little bit, maybe. But yeah, can't wait to get together again for Star Wars Celebration Japan in 2025, which very hopeful for me going to that as well. Lots of new announcements there. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We had Cal Kestis returning with Star Wars Jedi Survivor this year, which I finally am starting to play. Just got an Xbox this past weekend and got Jedi Survivor, and I have started on playing Jedi Survivor. So love it so far, having a blast playing it, and I can't wait to see how the story unfolds. We had anniversary of Return of the Jedi this year, 40 years of Return of the Jedi, which was celebrated in Star Wars Celebration Europe. And then also we had so much merch come out this year. We had Return of the Jedi getting re-released in the theaters, all sorts of fun stuff happening with Return of the Jedi. I, for my part, definitely got a lot of merchandise with Return of the Jedi celebrating 40th anniversary. So Jedi at 40 was a lot of fun for this year. So with that celebration. So yeah, so we had that. Republic Phase 3 kicked off this year. If you're a High Republic fan, you were probably so into this. It got me excited. Now, see Phase 3, I'm going back and I'm starting. I took a little bit of setback. I've paused a little bit, but I'm starting to read some of the publications, and I'm really enjoying it. Just because there's so much involved with the High Republic now. I mean, playing Jedi Survivor, I didn't realize that High Republic was intertwined in that story. Young Jedi Adventures, which was released this year as well, set in the High Republic era. So much fun. Love the characters, Lisk, Kai, and Nubs, along with some other pals along the way. So much fun to be able to watch that series, which is kind of had its 3 separate releases of its first season this year, which was a lot of fun to watch. I love watching it. I'll throw it on still here and there while I'm just chilling and relaxing. Visions Volume 2 dropped, which took us in a different direction than Volume 1. Volume 1 being animated all in Japan. But then this year, now we have animation houses from Japan, India, United Kingdom, Ireland, Spain, Chile, France, South Africa, and South Korea in the United States, which was fun to see all those different animation styles in Star Wars Vision Volume 2. A lot of great episodes. We had some really cool releases from Hasbro's HasLab, one of which being the Ghost. And again, if I had space, I would have bought this. The Ghost looked amazing. In that scale of the 3 3/4 inch vintage collection, which was amazing looking. Looked so cool. And then so many other characters released as well from Hasbro, which we love the character. If I could just continue to collect action figures, I would all the time. I love action figures. Some cool comic books. Read a little bit of it, but Dark Droids was a cool release that came out. And then also Tales from the Death Star. Both of those kind of bringing that horror-esque, which Ahsoka did as well. We had a lot of that come into play this year, which was really cool to be able to see some of that. And then Indiana Jones. Got to mention Indiana, even though it's not Star Wars, Lucasfilm, right? Indiana Jones returned for a new adventure. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny arriving, which was really awesome. 15 years since the last film. It was so awesome to be able to see that back in the theaters. Great film. I loved it. I thought it was a great concluding film. It was just so much fun. So so that was so amazing. All those amazing things that happened in Star Wars this year. But enough of what happened in Star Wars. What was my favorites? What was my top 5? My top 5 this year. I'm gonna count these down. Okay, so I'm gonna go number 5 to number 1, and I do have an honorable mention as well. But number 5 to number 1. So my number 5. I've been looking forward to this all year, and I finally just told you I finally just got it, Jedi Survivor, and I finally started playing Jedi Survivor. So I bought an Xbox X Series. Couldn't believe I haven't had a gaming system in forever, and I downloaded the game, right? Didn't realize how long it takes to download these games. I mean, I didn't realize how big they are, and how long it was going to take. But anyway, got to the point where I could start playing it. The Coruscant level was amazing. Super awesome visuals, as you always get to those spots where you can look around. Kind of confused because I didn't read the book that kind of ties in the story. My wife did. She kind of knew what was going on and why certain things were happening, which I didn't after playing the first one and where it left off. But got to the point where, got through the whole Coruscant thing. Really cool to be able to see some of the the cool battles that I had with the Inquisitor and everything, returning back from the first game, and yeah, so finally and then going to that other planet. I can't remember what the other planet is, but going to the next planet, and seeing some of the characters coming back now. It's got Grease back on the Mantis, got yeah. So and that was that planet. Met that cool. Got to see the kind of story take a little bit of the High Republic era and bring it into the Cal Kestis era, the Jedi Survivor era, which was cool to be able to see that Jedi fall into the dark side. And then going to Jeddah, which is really cool. So I'm at Jeddah right now. That's where I am right now, playing Survivor, and Marin coming back, which is really awesome. Seeing her teleporting and just her fighting style, and just them two connecting back together, and love it. Love the different kind of like costumes that you can like switch out. Right now, I'm kind of going with a Cal Kestis beard, with no sleeve shirt, cape. Got the BD like stripped down but green, and then I got the really kind of, my lightsaber is very, it's like whitish, kind of pale with the white blade right now. So yeah, kind of cool little fun setup that I got going on now with Survivor. But I'm still in Jeddah, so I'm on Jeddah right now, playing. So haven't really dived into a lot of stuff yet, but I know that there's going to be a lot more to come. So I don't know how percentage wise. I don't think I'm far into the game at all. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be a great next couple weeks playing this game, or however long it takes me to go back through and get all the content that I can get. My number four, and another one that had been waiting for years for, actually, that finally came out. This is my number 4 top 5 of 2023, is the Kanan Jarrus Legacy lightsaber, that was finally released. This was the fan favorite vote for Legacy lightsabers from Disney parks, and it finally came out. This year, and I'm really happy with it. I think it's the best Legacy lightsaber they've made so far. A couple things that I would have done differently, honestly, but I love that you can take it apart. You can wear it like Kanan Jarrus, on the back and on the side. It's so light. It's the other thing that's so nice about it. But yeah, I love it. I love the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber. That is definitely my number 4 of this year. The Caleb Dune Kanan Jarrus lightsaber is my number 4. Number 3, made my top 3. Something that we all watched this year that we loved. Again, I love Mandalorian was good. Bad Batch season 2 was good, but Ahsoka, we have been waiting so long for Ahsoka. Since Ahsoka popped up in The Mandalorian, I knew that it was going to be. I knew it was going to be a series, just because how well that episode was, how much Dave Filoni put into that episode. I knew that it was going to do well. I knew that everybody was going to want to see more Ahsoka. I knew that there was going to be a series at some point, and we got it. We got it this year. Went into some directions that we had never thought of before. We're going outside of the Star Wars galaxy to a different galaxy. We're getting the true essence of what Darth Sidious said when he said that the dark side is a pathway to abilities that some consider to be unnatural. Love it. Because really, when it all comes down to it, the Dathomirians' Sith magic is the Force. In a way, it's the Force. It's just called something different. It's something, it's wielded differently, but I believe it's the same. It's the Force. And it was so great to see some of these Rebels. Rebels was such a great series. It was so great to see some of these characters come back. Finally seeing Ezra, come back. And then his lightsaber. When he rebuilds his lightsaber, it looks so much like Kanan's. So great. Sabine looking great. So awesome. Hera, Chopper, Huang, just, and then Balin Skull, Shin Hati, Morgan Elsbeth, Thrawn coming into this. The Night Troopers, everything was amazing. So can't wait to see Ahsoka again turn up. Had so many questions at the end of that. You know, we had the Mortis coming in, the father, the son, the daughter, seeing just a peek of that, the flashbacks, the world between worlds, getting to see Hayden Christensen come back as Anakin Skywalker, seeing the Clone Wars, portions of the Clone Wars in live action was outstanding. Ahsoka, my number 3, my top 3. Top 2, going to London, baby. Star Wars Celebration London, amazing. Had so much fun in London. Did all 4 days of Star Wars Celebration. So much fun. Went to the Return of the Jedi panel, the 40th anniversary panel, saw that live. Went to the Ahsoka panel. Got to come back, got to see, wait a minute, did we see Ahsoka? I can't even remember what we watched live. I think it was Ahsoka. We watched Ahsoka live, right? The first episode, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what we watched live. I just remember we came back. It was great. They invited us back to do that. So cool. But seeing the Skeleton Crew trailer, the Acolyte trailer, so many things that came out in Star Wars Celebration that we got to see peeks of. Visions Volume 2, all sorts of cool stuff. Announcements galore. Had some friends doing some panels, got to go see them, which was awesome. Got to meet some great people that I follow online that I got to talk to and hang out with, which was so cool to be able to do. Went to the cool cantina party, concert party, awesome experience. Went and did some other after parties, which I never had done before at Star Wars Celebration, but it was so cool to hang out with Star Wars fans after hours, which was amazing. Hung out in London for a little bit longer. So great. So much fun. Can't wait for the next Star Wars Celebration. I really, really hope I can get everything settled and get to Japan for Star Wars Celebration 2025. Star Wars Celebration Europe, number 2. Number 1. Right here. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Number 1 thing from 2023. So I am the crucial crew member. I used to be a crew member on the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. I was on the opening team. It was so great. Sad that it closed this year. I was there through June of this year. And when the closing happened, right before the announcement, when the announcement happened, amazing friends contacted me. We're trying to book another cruise. Do you guys want to join us if we can get another cruise? Yes, hands down. Was able to go back in July and do the cruise as a passenger, which was amazing. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser will always be right up there. It's probably one of the best experiences that I've ever been a part of, have done with regards to Star Wars. I'll always remember that. I don't know if there's ever going to be anything that can top it, ever. Beyond being in a movie, if that ever happens, which I doubt it ever will, but you can't say never is never. If I ever get to be an extra and be on a set of a Star Wars project, that might catapult it to the top. But as of right now, I felt like that's what I did. Being a crew member, being a part of that, being a part of the cast, telling stories for others every day was amazing. And then going back as a passenger and reliving those stories, making my own story, was so much fun. So much fun to do that. I wish I could do it again. I wish it stayed around so that everybody had a chance to do that. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, my number one of 2023. So again, Jedi Survivor, Kanan Jarrus lightsaber, Ahsoka, Celebration Europe, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Hands down, number one. Hands down. I bet you if everybody had a top 5 this year and they went to Star Cruiser is their number one. Star Cruisers are number one. Honorable mention this year, though, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was awesome. Again, to see Harrison Ford come back, put on that fedora, have that whip, come back as Indiana Jones and kill it. Kill it. James Mangold did a fantastic job with that film. Beautiful, amazing, great storytelling, great adventure. So much fun. Killed it. And then it was so cool at Disney having the Dial of Destiny pop-up bar. That was so much fun. So the weathered fedora, one of the best drinks at Disney parks this year. One of the best drinks at Disney parks this year. I would say, well, yeah. Besides everything that was on the Star Cruiser, those drinks were outstanding. What a great themed beverage. The weathered fedora was outstanding. It was amazing. I want to get the recipe because I want to make it. It was awesome. It was awesome. Speaking of top 5s, though, going to next year, 2024, my top 5 Star Wars things that I am looking forward to. Again, I'm going to do this 5 through 1. Number 5, I'm going to stay with the video game thing on number 5. So I had Jedi Survivor this year that I loved. But now that I have a console, Star Wars Outlaws comes out next year. It looks fantastic. So I'm definitely going to be getting that. Definitely going to be playing that next year. Number 4, intrigued by this. Don't know still when it's going to be, where it's going to be, if I can get there or not. But Halcyon. The Heroes of the Halcyon really made Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, as far as for our super fans, those of us, great podcast. For anybody that had never gone to Star Cruiser and were thinking about going, it was such a great way to kind of get to know the Star Cruiser without getting spoiled too much, because you could kind of figure it out and learn about it and kind of get an idea of what you wanted to do and get excited about it, but not get spoiled. So Here's the Halcyon were amazing. Great friends as well. They've become great friends. Have done some really cool parties for us Star Cruiser fans. We did a little meetup, a muster meetup at the Stargazers Lounge in Disney Springs before the May the 4th cruise this year. We did a cool closing ceremonies get together at Planet Hollywood this year, which was so much fun. So much fun. It was a blast. And they're going to be putting on kind of a Star Wars Halcyon convention, so to say. They got to do San Diego Comic-Con panel. I would have gone in a second. If I could have gone out there, I would have loved to gone and seen their panel. Their panel was amazing. They did such a great job. Such a great turnout. But to have them actually put on their own little mini convention for Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, Halcyon. Hope I can get there. I really, really do. Hope I can get there and support that this year. I believe it's going to be in Orlando. I think they were in town this month, kind of scoping out places. I don't know what came of that. Kind of miss seeing them. I wish I could have gotten together and seen them. I know they were probably busy, though. Number 3, as far as something that's going to get released next year that I'm really, really excited about. Out of all the ones that are going to be released, Bad Batch Season 3, Skeleton Crew, which is supposed to be released next year, Tales of the Jedi Season 2, some really great releases next year, but The Acolyte coming out next year, super excited. Again, a different era of Star Wars storytelling and from a different perspective. So really looking forward to The Acolyte. That is definitely my number 3. Number 2, something that I've been wanting to go to since Star Wars Anaheim Celebration, so since last year, Mos Eisley. Mos Eisley coming to Orlando. This will be number 4 or 5. I think 5. Number 5? Yeah, because they had Anaheim, then they did Las Vegas, then they did San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, and this is going to be for MegaCon, to mash up with MegaCon. So Mos Eisley, number 5, coming to Orlando. Got my tickets. Got my merch pack. Just got to figure out if I'm going to get off or if I'm going to have to call out. But yeah, Mos Eisley. It'll be my first Mos Eisley. I'm making a jacket. It's right over there in my closet. Working on it still. Can't wait for Mos Eisley. Mos Eisley is my number 2. Star Wars excitement for next year. My number 2. And then number 1, which is going to happen in less than 30 days. Less than 30 days. Is going on the Disney Wish cruise ship and getting to experience the Hyperspace Lounge. Just because, again, this is immersive Star Wars. And since Star Cruiser, I know it's not going to be Star Cruiser. It's not going to be the Sublight Lounge. But Hyperspace Lounge, just walking into an area every night that's themed Star Wars. Some really cool drinks. Even one that's $5,000. I don't think I'm going to do it. I just can't wait to hang out. Hopefully there'll be some Star Wars fans in there. We can just chill. I'm definitely going to do a couple. Every time I go in there, I'm definitely going to be Star Warsing it up. I'm going to be taking so much Star Wars clothes on this cruise ship. Trying to get some more, but all the ones that I want, Roosevelt's is out of right now. So, but I wanted to get some more Roosevelt stuff, but everything in my size is out of stock. I hope they maybe get some release because they're pretty quick on getting it to you. And if they release some back in my size, I got some on my wish list. That I want, but that is my number 1. Hyperspace Lounge on the Disney Wish. Honorable mention for next year is there was one that I was thinking of, but I just thought of another one. So I think let me do 2 honorable mentions. 1, can't wait to see some news as far as the pre-production of the next Star Wars movie, because that's going to happen next year. We're thinking it's the Daisy Ridley one, the new Jedi Order Star Wars movie, which takes place, I think, 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. So looking forward to seeing when that actually starts, principal photography, whatever it is, getting started, seeing little sneak peeks of that, little photos here and there, because I'm sure that's all we're going to get. Doubt we'll get anything but photos and stuff throughout the year. I think we'll get our first, maybe sneak peek of a trailer in 2025 in Japan, is my guess. And then another one that I just thought of is the Star Tours. Star Tours, New Planets at Star Tours, the ride in Disney's Hollywood Studios here in Walt Disney World, and in Star Tours in Tomorrowland, right? I think it's in Tomorrowland at Disneyland. So new planets to visit with Star Tours. The adventure continues. So my 2024 Star Wars Outlaws, number 5, HalseyCon, number 4, Acolyte, number 3, Mos Eisley, number 2, number 1, Hyperspace Lounge on the Disney Wish. And then those honorable mentions of new Star Tours planets and new Star Wars movie beginning production. I don't know what just happened. I started watching Ahsoka, and it just like crashed on me and went back to the home screen on my Roku. I don't know why. But yeah, so don't know what your top fives are from this year. Like to hear it. Go ahead and throw those in the comments if you can. And what you're looking forward to next year. Maybe I missed something. Yeah, so let's see here. A couple other things that a couple other news that just to kind of throw out there, because I was just kind of looking through. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, so we're talking about Young Jedi Adventures a little bit. We were talking about that as far as that came out this year, which was amazing that Young Jedi Adventures has had so much support. But it won 2 children's and family Emmys, which is really awesome. Which means it's going to continue, which is pretty cool that we get that to continue. So I love Young Jedi Adventures. I can't wait to see more. I loved how like the last couple episodes really tied into the High Republic. We got to see the Charhound, which was really cool. I loved seeing the Charhound and Master Great Storm, Starlight Beacon. We got to see Starlight Beacon. I love how it's really tying into some of the stories of Young Jedi Adventures. So congratulations on those that put that together. The one award that it won was Outstanding Editing for a Preschool Animated Program, and the other one was Outstanding Sound Mixing and Editing for a Preschool Animated Program. So really awesome. Congratulations to everyone who worked on that. Really, really cool. I'm getting ready to sign off because I want to go play some Star Wars Jedi Survivor before I go to bed tonight, by the way. And but I hope everyone, you know what I forgot to do? I don't really want to wait another week because I want to like start using some of this stuff. So I'm going to do this before I go. So I got 8 minutes left for my normal 60-minute time. So I got another Galaxy box, by the way. And I've been sitting on this for a while now, but I want to do this before the end of the year. So I got another Galaxy box. It's a Droids one, and it's amazing. If you can't see this, the boxes from Culture Fly are really cool. And this one's an R2-D2 one, which R2-D2 is my favorite character, by the way. If you haven't like figured it out. And I forgot to do my crucial character pick as well. My crucial character pick of the month, which was gonna be from what am I on now? Because it kind of ties into R2-D2, just so you know. So my crucial Star Wars character, no, actually it doesn't tie into. It was going to, but then I changed my mind. So crucial character, and I've done another crucial character from The Force Awakens before, but it was mainly just a character that I liked, which was Emmy 89, which is in Maz's castle, the really cool droid. I have a Funko Pop of her. And I love the design of that droid. I just think it's one of those cool background characters. But this is who I think is the most crucial character of The Force Awakens, and that would be Lor San Tekka. Lor San Tekka basically kind of like, there's so much cool backstory to Lor San Tekka that I love. And if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have gotten to the end of the movie because he was carrying the map. Luke Skywalker, and like for a minute, it was going to be BB-8 was my like top crucial character of The Force Awakens, but yeah, BB-8 was he carried that map, and he got it to the right place. He carried it the whole time, and other people helped him on the way. But if it wasn't for Lor San Tekka actually keeping that map, holding that map for the right time, for when Leia needed it, he is definitely the most crucial character. He kind of a lot of his past stories kind of involve him and Luke Skywalker, and kind of with scouting the galaxy, finding artifacts with the Jedi Order and really helping him get that going. The school and everything, which is really cool. And then when Luke kind of just everything happened and Luke went into hiding, Lor San Tekka kind of did the same thing. But that little place on Jakku was kind of like they were all kind of like Guardians of the Wills in a way, the Church of the Force, which was really cool. And he's got a really good backstory. And there's so much mystery to his character, and I would love to. I know there's like reading material on it, and I haven't really dived into a lot of it. And I want to now really go into a lot of his backstory. But if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have had that map to Luke Skywalker, and that was the most important piece of the map. I honestly feel that once they got BB-8's part of the map, couldn't they have figured out the rest of it? Did they really need R2-D2 to figure out where to start? Because you would have thought that at least one of those planets in that part of the map, they would have been able to figure out where it was. Just saying. But that piece of the map was very important. So that is my all-time crucial character pick of The Force Awakens. The most crucial character, I feel, Lor San Tekka. Without him, without his character, we would have never gotten to the end of that movie. We would have never gotten to Luke Skywalker. We would have never found him. Because he had that piece of the map, that piece, that final piece that got you to Octo. Movie would have played out so much differently. The stories would have played out so much differently. Lor San Tekka, my crucial character pick of The Force Awakens. All-time most crucial character. Back to my Galaxy box. R2-D2. Who held the other part of the map? See how I did that? So anyway, Culture Fly, amazing boxes, anniversary gift a couple years ago. Wife forgot to cancel it, so I'm still getting them. I'll get them through next year. The inside of the box, C-3PO, so amazing. So some great things come in this pack. Again, they always give you a nice little postcard of the box in case you don't want to keep the box. So that cool little R2-D2 design. And then some amazing things. I'm not big on holiday sweaters. But this is an R2-D2 one. So R2-D2 holiday crew sweater. I think this is a remake of a sweater. I don't know. But it's got the Rebel signs in red and blue. R2-D2 wearing a little snowy, wintry scarf there. So pretty cool. I'll wear this in the winter months. Might sport it maybe in a week or two. We got a cool die-cut wall clock, which I might take this to work, actually. Came in a box. It's just a box that I just threw on the ground. But it needs batteries. It's like kind of cheesy, but it's a cool little wall clock. Got the little clock there, and it's got R2-D2 and C-3PO on it. But it's basically just like a cardboard, standy type of deal. Kind of cheesy, but it could be cool for work. Outside of R2-D2 or C-3PO, I'm gonna take my hat off so that way I can put this on. Got my cool little beanie. It's an IG-88 beanie. Cool, right? Can sport this. Doesn't get too cold here in Florida, but it's nice. Like it. IG-88 beanie. Who doesn't love a little IG-88 assassin droid? Ooh, you know what? Oh yeah, probably gonna put this on my my Crucial Crew jacket, but it is a probe droid patch. Love the probe droids. Probe droids are amazing. Probe droids are probably one of my favorite characters. I think the probe droids are I named them the most crucial character of Empire Strikes Back. right? Didn't I? Yeah, I think so. Because, without those probe droids, they never would have found the Rebel base on Hoth. So, definitely going to put that. There is an R2-D2 scarf. Not a big scarf person, but, this will be fun. Kind of got those same colors, but it's all R2 units. So I got a green one, a red one, and a blue one on here. And then, yeah, so the Rebel symbol as well. So pretty cool, right? Yeah, love that. I'm going to go ahead and put that IG-88. I'm going to get all, like, wintered up. How about that? Get all wintered up. Got my IG-88 hat on, my winter scarf. Go like this, right? There we go. How about that? Yeah. All wintered up. Star Wars wintered up. If I ever go wintering in Star Wars, I don't know. If I ever get to Norway, this will be what I'm wearing. Cool mouse droid sliding pin. If you can see that, he kind of comes out of a little place that he calls home. So Star Wars sliding pin there. The mouse droid. Love the mouse droids. Mouse droids are great. And then a little vinyl decal set of some droids. Got some amazing droids on there. Everything from gonk droids to all these other cool droids, which can't remember the names of them all, but those are cool. So yeah, cool vinyl stickers, decals. That is it. That is the droid box. It's a great droid box. Great droid box. Love it. Love the droid boxes from Culture Fly. They always give us some cool stuff, and it's a great gift that keeps on giving, right? I love being on. Got all this in here. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you're watching this later, Patrick, thank you for joining in tonight. Just only for a little bit, but thank you for joining in for a little bit tonight. Hope everybody had a great year in Star Wars. Please tell me what your top 5 are. Tell me what you're looking forward to 2024. And I will see you next year, because next year is a new year. 2024. We're going to do this next Tuesday. Space Oats Live, a Star Wars podcast. Until that time, check me out on Instagram, The Crucial Crew Member. Most importantly, make sure you do something Star Wars each and every day. Watch some Star Wars, listen to some Star Wars, play some Star Wars, read some Star Wars, do something Star Wars. But most importantly, remember, may the stars light your way. Have a great night, everyone.